What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Realtor Success Podcast. I'm Jordan Brown at Jordan Sells ATX on Instagram and basically every channel. Listen, man, this episode is going to be a little bit different. I am rocking solo dolo today. It is just me hopping on here, and I'm going to try to not make a habit of this, but I've got some stuff I need to get off my chest. I feel like this industry is in an interesting place. I think there's a lot of interesting things that make me feel interesting feelings, whether it's clients, other agents, the industry, the governing bodies that be. I am feeling things, not great things about something. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hop on and just talk about my frustrations. And rather this, I don't even know if I'm going to air this. I really don't. So if you're hearing this, maybe against my better judgment, I decided to post this publicly. And here's the thing, it's not like again, I'm not going to make this a regular thing, but I do think there's a healthy way to get your thoughts out. And the only people that like that will understand a realtor's perspective are usually other realtors. So that's why this episode is out for your consumption to hopefully sit along and go, you know what? I relate to that too. I feel that exact same way, Jordan. And maybe not. Maybe you're sitting there and by the end of it, you go, man, all this guy does is complain. And like I said, this is not the usual. This is usually I'm very positive and I love helping people by learning from others. But you know what? Not everything in life is hunky dory and rah rah all the time. And I just have thoughts on it. I just want to get it out. This is my podcast. I can talk about whatever I want. So this isn't going to be the norm. So I don't know, this might be an episode you skip. That's totally fine. But if you're around, thanks for tuning in and for hearing me gripe about this godforsaken industry that we have decided to throw ourselves into and try to make a living out of. And so I know nothing else other than to just kind of spout out what's on my brain. And I don't know how long I'm going to talk about each topic. It might be one sentence, it might be 10 minutes, I don't know. But I was collecting my thoughts and I was like, man, I feel such a weird, like what a weird time to be an agent. You know, I knew older agents, you know, the ones that ask you like fax document stuff over. I know that doesn't happen. But just for humor, right? Like for the lulz, we're going to pretend that there's still agents that are telling us to fax over documents because we like to make fun of old people. That's what we do in this country. But those agents, I cannot imagine what they're thinking about the way our industry has trended. Back in the day, there were a handful of realtors, and I feel like if you knew business owners, like that was the way that you really generated business, was by talking to people. Maybe it was cold calling, maybe it was door to door, all those tried and true ways of getting business in this industry. And now you've got this new way. I can't even think about it without laughing. It's just like if I'm a 20, 30 year real estate veteran and I'm watching this new wave of people come through, and social media and the internet has completely revolutionized the way that we view what this work is and what the art of procuring leads is. And social media has just turned it completely upside down. You know, you've got people, some of the cringiest ways that I've seen Instagram or Reels video in particular being used. What was the one? Let me see. I'm going to be checking my notes here because I had to write this stuff down. I couldn't hardly keep it in my brain without feeling like I was getting dumber. There was like the things that we will do for virality and views was not always a thing that was in the industry. And this is probably like I'm going to be 35 in September, and I'm probably sounding like an old head just sitting here saying it feels like old man yelling at clouds. But I really do think that, like, yes, the industry is changing, the way you procure leads is changing, but I feel like the professionalism that used to maybe somewhat be associated with this business, we are getting in our own way. And here's what's crazy. Some of these things that I see are getting a ton of views. But then I'm the kind of person that wants to go and research what that person is selling. And I'm not here to even pretend I'm a top 1%. Like, I am not the kind of person to dunk on anyone's like level of production. That's not my gig. But I do think that there is a school of thought out there that views somehow equates to trust in a huge transaction, and that isn't necessarily always the case. I mean, there's this gal. I'm not gonna use any specific names, and I'm gonna try to not use any key identifiers as to who I'm criticizing here, just to be respectful. But it feels like people are like realtors these days are putting on their best comedy acts and forgetting who the real target is and what the real kind of messaging that builds trust is. And that sounds crazy because if you go to the comment section of these people's TikToks, Instagrams, etc., there's all these people in the comments of, you're so funny, you're so relatable. If I was in the market, I would use you. And that's worth nothing because, again, being the petty person that I am, I look these people up. I look at all of our sales history, all of our sales records is public. So I went, and there's this gal that is super viral for the space, gets hundreds of thousands of likes, tons of comments on her content, and she's just doing if it's her listing or if it's a model home, whatever it is, she's walking through and she's basically doing a stand-up comedy act. She's trying to make you laugh, and she's talking about her vajayjay and her ex-boyfriend's this and that, and yeah, she's getting reinforcement in the comments of like, oh, this is so good, like I would use you for sure. And then you look it up, and she sold 3 homes this year. 3 homes in the last 12 months. And I can't help but feel like there's something to that. So the attention economy that the internet has created in our industry, it's just disgusting. It really is. And I fall victim to this sometimes. I've thought of different videos that we could make. I mean, my business partner and I have certainly, not to that extreme and consistency, but I mean, we think about how we can get more views, and unfortunately that's just the way that it is these days. But I just want you to know, the listener out there, that you may be comparing yourself to these people who have hella viral videos and sitting there going, man, must be nice. If that was me, I'd be raking it in. And that's just not always the case. In fact, most of the time, most of the people who I know who are this persona or this prolific kind of standout act online within the real estate space are not always translating into sales. Not always. Some of them do. There's a handful of them that are absolutely crushing it, but you got to remember who your audience is. And serious buyers, in my opinion, if you're trying to appeal to the young kids, where the median age, or is it average or median? I think it's the average age of a home buyer right now is 40 years old. So if that's the average age of a home buyer, and those are the people with money to be able to buy in this ridiculous market, then what are we doing trying to appeal to the humor of 18 to 22-year-olds? That's just my opinion. And I know they will eventually become buyers, and sure, I hope they remember you and that one time you made them laugh online. I think some realtors are giving up their credibility and self-respect in the name of views. And then there's this other thing that's happened, where a lot of times you'll do something crazy for likes or for videos and views, and the only people commenting, if it's not that younger, like, oh, this is so funny, ha ha ha, I would use you kind of audience, it's other realtors. It's other realtors and video editors. That's it. Now, the other realtor take is actually interesting because you could get referral opportunities from that. If you're relating to other realtors, they watch your content, they think you're funny, they like your energy, whatever. But I'll just go back to, don't forget who the audience is. The videos that you're making, if you're going after referral business, make it focused on relating to the other agents. And if you're trying to procure clients, like, who is your ideal target? Who is your ideal audience? How much money do they make? What are their problems? Are you speaking to their problems, or are you just trying to entertain them? Entertainment does not always translate to sales. That's ultimately what I'm getting at. So here's some of these annoying trends that I've been seeing that I just had to talk about. Number one, the high speed editing of homes, where it feels like I'm watching a freaking John Wick movie. Are you kidding me? I'm looking at the living room for 0.25 seconds, and then you're whiplashing me over to the kitchen, and then there's big transition up and zoom in, zoom out. Like, then we're outside, it transitions day to night, and like it's so chaotic, and you never really get a feel for the home. I understand we're in a short attention span economy with the way that short form content has come in and completely changed the way that we consume. So I somewhat get it, but I also don't, because if my goal is to highlight a home and show the lifestyle, I feel like that warrants more than just half a second in the living room. Are you feeling me? Like, are you following along? And am I crazy? I'm a little bit crazy, but I don't think I'm that crazy on this topic. I hope that there's more people that feel like I do about these trends that are happening, just because I want so many good things for our industry. And this video, like, listen to this one. I saw a video, I had to write it down because I could not believe my freaking eyes as to what I was seeing, and that someone recorded this, edited it, and went, yep, that's the video I'm putting out. They were saying, so they had this new listing, and the whole video is this female realtor standing out front of the listing, and it's like, oh, like, you should see the backyard. So first of all, we're in the front yard, and she like eats her husband. The video is, she, like, the husband's like kind of in the background, and because of like the perception of the camera, it looks like she eats him, and she walks like kind of crazily to the backyard and pretends to poop her husband out in the backyard. I'm not kidding. And the whole time you don't see the backyard. Like you see one small sliver, but the whole point of the video is this new listing has this incredible backyard. Did I watch it? Yes. Did I learn anything about the backyard, which you said was the whole point of the video? Absolutely not. And I couldn't believe that this person was like, hell yeah. Like, that's the video. Let's post that. Like, that's on brand. That's so good. This is going to be the thing. And then, like, imagine you're the seller. You're the seller, and this is the way your realtor's like, listen, I charge 4%. That's just for my listing, because I'm going to get you tons of views. I'm going to get you tons of attention on your listing. I'm going to get so many eyeballs on your listing. And you're like, oh my God, like, this is incredible. Like, no other realtor is doing video content these days. Like, show me. And then they come, they film. You're excited because you're trusting this person to put your home in the best light. And it's your female realtor shitting her husband out into a sliver of your backyard. Solid. That's, I mean, just absolutely solid. And then there's all the realtors that are in the comments like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God, this is so creative. Like, no, it's super cringy. I don't know. There's so many words I could use for it. Hey, more power to her if she sold it. Like, I reserve the right to be wrong on this, where if there was a buyer that saw that video and went, yep, I'm sold, I'm in. In fact, keep her pooped out husband in the backyard, I'm in. I just don't see it. I don't know. That was just such a weird video. And I was like, you know what? This is just like the newest example of just things that I'm just not a fan of when it comes to this video content that we are throwing ourselves into, and who would have thought when you got into the real estate business that you would really, it's more like, it's less about selling a house and it's more about marketing yourself. You're really in a marketing position, and that's a dangerous game for a lot of people because people don't understand the power of branding and how you present yourself and how it's perceived. And I'm not here to say that I'm the expert in anything. I don't, I've worked on my brand over the years. I don't necessarily think that it's in like the most perfect state that it could be, but I know that I'm not going to go into a listing appointment and tell that seller that I'm going to poop someone out on their yard and that's how I'm going to get a ton of views and attention towards their listing. I'm just not going to do that. So that's my thoughts on that topic. I mean, another one that I saw, I know so many of you probably saw this one too, where this realtor said that in order to procure leads, they filmed themselves doing this act of printing out a flyer that says something like, "I know what you did, Jessica. Here's proof." And there's a QR code. And then you scan the QR code and it takes you to this agent's website. What are we doing? Guys, what are we doing? Can you imagine like wanting some tea on what Jessica did and you pull it up and it's this freaking agent with their arms crossed and tilted freaking headshot staring at you like, "Ha, there's nothing here. Psych. By the way, are you trying to buy a house?" I don't know. Call me a hater. Call me a hater if you want. I'm not doing it. I think there's better ways. What's up next? What else is annoying me? I'm gonna just complain about my fellow agents here for a second. And you know what? I might have been one of these agents whenever I first started and not realized it, but you know what? I'm not that agent anymore, so I can complain about it. Number one, agents who don't want to be in a multiple offer situation. Just write the offer. You have no idea how many times, if you are one of those agents who's like, "My buyer doesn't want to be in a multiple offer situation," just write the offer, submit it. You never know what could happen. Just because there's multiple offers doesn't mean that those offers are compelling. And I feel that you're doing your client a disservice and going against your fiduciary responsibilities of servicing them by not competing for the house they're interested in. Like, what is that about? Here in the Austin market, I've won multiple offer situations and still been under asking price. That's just that's how it can go sometimes. I literally won a home that had 7 offers in, and we were 5,000 under the asking price, and it was the terms that made us stand out. They needed a complimentary lease back. They needed X, Y, and Z. If you the bare minimum of your job is to just try to win the house for your client. And if you're shying away from a little competition, like, what kind of agent are you? Really? Really? And Jordan, my clients told me they don't want to be in a multiple. Like, it's your responsibility as the expert to coach them on why they may be shooting themselves in the foot by doing that. By setting that boundary, it's going to limit them. And it takes 10 minutes to write an offer? Like, get over yourself. Get over we just don't want to go through all that. All of what? Your clients are e-signing. It takes them 3 freaking minutes to do it. Just write the offer, man. Just write it up. It's not that hard. New agents, listen. You're new in the industry and you have partners, teammates, other realtors that are investing time into you. This is going to sound really personal. I'm trying to make it not, but sometimes I just got to talk about it. Here at our team, we take new agents on, we've got experienced agents, and I think everyone would agree that new agents obviously need the most hand-holding, and we're happy to do it. And the sucky part is you get burned by that sometimes because new agents don't understand when a producing agent is taking time away from their production to train you, to make you better, to answer your questions, to role play, to coach you. to walk you through exact systems and all of that, and then you leave. I'm not saying that you got to stay anywhere. You don't owe your license being hung by anyone. You don't owe anyone necessarily anything. But I just feel like it's a little bit disrespectful. No conversation, no nothing. I literally was helping an agent on Wednesday. I helped an agent on a Wednesday. Everything sounded good. We got a plan in place. Everything was rolling. Gone on Friday. New brokerage, no conversation, no nothing. And I just hate, like, again, it just feels kind of rude. It just feels kind of disrespectful. We're all adults. I've never been in a profession where there's more adults, whether it's agent to agent, agent to client, professional to professional, that avoid any kind of confrontational conversation. It's like a bunch of big babies that just did, like, I don't know. Growing up, at least where I was, there was an understanding like, hey, hard conversations are part of any gig where, hey, if you're feeling a certain way, you like let the other person know, work through it, move on. Even in a breakup of sorts, like maybe that's just what it is. It's this generation of low commitment and text breakups, and life moves on, and I don't need to let someone else know any, like, it's my life, like whatever. I don't know. I'm probably just rambling at this point, but man, it just hurt me. It hurt me deep that, you know, if someone's going to take time to invest in you, if you're still not feeling it, and I don't know what this person's, because again, we didn't get a conversation about it, but new agents out there really appreciate when another agent who is productive slash successful, has a proven business, is going to take time to invest in you. That's a relationship. And I personally don't like when relationships are ended where it feels like the other person got shafted. I've got no problem where if things weren't working out, like, let's just talk about it. Say, hey, I'm getting offered this over here, or one of my besties is over at this other brokerage, so I'm gonna go over there. Like, okay, cool. Like, that's at least closure. And it happens also with clients. Who listening to this has ever been ghosted by a client? And you're sitting there going, what the hell? I did everything right. I followed up. I went to their house. I gave them the CMA. We had a plan in place. We had an agreement. Like, and then all of a sudden I'm just getting ghosted. What is this? What a weird profession full of adults who don't like hard conversations. Am I right? Am I preaching, or am I just complaining? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to last topic. I'm not going to make this a long one. I don't want this to just be a big gripe session. Let's talk about AI. The hot button item, AI, artificial intelligence. How many freaking times have you guys heard AI is not going to replace realtors? Realtors using AI will replace realtors. Some version of that. Freaking sick of it, dude. Freaking sick of AI. It's like in its infancy as far as like our utilization of it within a pretty global and widespread use. Like, my dad's using it to create images of him and Dak Prescott on Thanksgiving. like, like I know that when my parents use it, it's now a widespread tech. Like, it's a pretty generally accepted new thing. And I'm over it, dude. These flyers that all look like they were made by the same designer, and it all looks the same. It's not good. I'm so tired of like you can give every realtor is using it. I know they are. And I understand why you are. It's efficient. Like I'm not my hands aren't clean totally in this too. I do use AI to frame things, and I go in and I make it personal. I try to never just copy and paste what an AI puts out and use that as my own thoughts. I like to go in and tweak it. I'll expand upon it further. But I feel like I'm so sick of seeing all the posts that are so perfectly written and there's no flaws. And I'm like, I know that this person has like the reading level of a third grader and they just wrote like a novel on business acumen. Like I don't know. It's it's so obvious. There's that. There's the very telling signs of it's not just a blank, it's a blank, right? It's not just a home, it's a lifestyle. Like, what are we doing, dude? We're just, I don't know, AI flyers, AI videos. The last thing that I need in real estate is more fake stuff. We've got fake butts, fake faces, fake people selling homes. I don't need them equipped with more fake stuff. That's just my take. I don't know, man. I've just had some stuff on my mind. I wanted to get it out here because I think it's better out than in. This is almost like therapeutic for me to just put it out there, see if anyone feels the same. And if not, that's all right. I at least got it off my chest and we'll see. Maybe Frustration Friday will become a thing. I hope not. I try to keep it generally positive and see all the good and move us in a good direction. But sometimes it just feels so good to sit there and be like, you know what? I think this is kind of corny. I think this is kind of silly. I don't like this. It feels good to just kind of be real for a moment and say, hey, not everything is great. Not everything is fantastical. Not every idea is like, am I going to rally behind? Not every trend am I super excited about. And I think that's the human experience is being able to say, hey, and I'm not trying to convince you. I hope that's not what it is, but if you're feeling anything, just know I see it too. If you relate to any of this, know that I see it too. And anywho, next release, back to the usual, back to giving you those tactical tips and tricks to implement into your business, hearing from those top level professionals that are crushing it today, real estate professionals that are doing something fun, different, super effective and having success in their business right now. That's the whole heart of what we're doing here. We just like to have a little fun and, keep it casual sometimes and just complain a little bit. Is that okay? Can I complain every now and then? Is that all right? Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much. Give this, not necessarily this episode, but give the channel a 5-star review. Give it a thumbs up on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify or YouTube. Helps get this exposed to more people. Free, easy way to support the podcast. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Take care of each other. Take care of your clients. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode.